So, The Mandalorian. This wasn't on Netflix. This is Disney Plus. I mean, just smash hit success. It was released. What was it released? Was it earlier in 2020 or back end of 2019?
Yeah, I believe it's at the like close to the tail end of 2019, unless I'm mistaken.
Okay.
Like
So The
the fall.
Mandalorian, which stars, I always forget this fucking guy's name.
Oh shit! Damn it! Now that you ask,
He was in Game of Thrones.
I got you. Just continue. And
Fuck. He was also in Netflix's. Fuck. I forgot his name. But anyway,
keep going. I got you.
Created by Jon Favreau. So again, The Mandalorian, huge, massive success for Disney Plus. Continuation or another storyline of the Star Wars cinematic universe.
Yeah.
8 episodes, $15 million per episode. Huge spend on this, and they reap the rewards again. This being like the success that it was. So the making of this film, or Disney just announced,
And it was Pedro Pascal, by the way.
Pedro Pascal. Yeah, so easy to remember, but I don't know why I couldn't. So Disney recently announced The Mandalorian, a docuseries from its Disney Galleries category, I guess. So it's Disney Galleries for The Mandalorian, which is supposed to premiere on Star Wars Day, which I didn't know existed, but it does. That is on May 4th. And this is just going to be a multi-episode docu-series into the making of The Mandalorian, which I think is going to be phenomenal. Why? Mostly because it's going to show everything that went into the making of this film, but it's going to feature the story behind Baby Yoda, right? It's going to feature the story behind the Mandalorian himself. It's probably going to feature a lot of Pedro Pascal, and whose face wasn't even shown the entire season 1 of The Mandalorian, but we're going to get a lot of that like backstory. What a way to diversify your catalog, right? For me, I think there's a great appetite for this. A lot of people no longer they definitely want to watch the film, but a lot of people want to understand like what goes into making a film. What went into the making of season 8 for the Game of Thrones? Like what went good? What went bad? What went according to plan? What was completely off script? And like how did it all come together? Well timed, being that like The Mandalorians, there's still a lot of people watching it. It's still a huge hit. It's still a topic of conversation. And now they're refreshing that conversation with this Disney Gallery docuseries that's set to release. And again, very timely here. May 4th is just around the corner. And if The Mandalorian came out during the back end of 2019, you may still be watching it in early 2020. This is going to hit at the right time.
Yeah, I think it's well timed, and it's going to be really interesting to see sort of like how they put it all together. Because I think no matter what you think about the story, which I personally, I wasn't too keen on the actual story itself. In fact, I thought it was pretty poor as far as the story goes. But I think one thing you can't deny is that it looks beautiful, and Pedro Pascal, he actually did a great job, even though he wears pretty much a mask the entire time. And half the time, I'm pretty sure it's not him. That's swearing it. But he still did a great job, for what it's worth. And so it'd be great to see sort of like, okay, how they put this all together, what went into it. And Jon Favreau was kind of a strange director in that he's had his hand in some pretty significant things, The Mandalorian, not being an exception. And so I'm curious what his process is, like how does he go about doing the things he does? Because he's been involved in so many big time things, but yet I kind of just look at him as like an actor. It's always hard for me to like picture him as as a director, even though he's done so many great things, and so yeah, it's going to be interesting to see that.
And again, I think the backstory behind this is phenomenal. There's no trailer for the docuseries yet, but during Star Wars Day, again on May 4th, Disney's also releasing Star Wars, the Clone Wars, which I think is like an animated series. So the month of May is looking like it's going to belong to Disney. It's going to belong to the Star Wars category because they're just dropping so much heat right here.
Yeah, yeah, I do believe so. With that being said, let's jump forward here.